Hello, tubers, family, and friends. Welcome back to the channel again. This is Edward, and I'm still in Las Vegas, Nevada, in the United States of America. And I've been here about 2 months now, and I got some things accomplished. Mostly, I was able to spend a lot of time with my mother that's in bad health. And so we got to say our last goodbyes, at least if God willing, she is still alive next year. Only God knows. But we got to spend some good quality time together for the past few weeks, uh, and I pray that God's will be done in her life. And I got to make a lot of good contacts and catch up with old friends and family. And so as far as that, the trip was a good success. Altogether, the entire travel and all the expenses involved with travel and rental cars and hotels, and it was pretty expensive trip for 2 months. It was altogether around I don't know, around 15,000 US, maybe a little more than that. So, and that pretty much went all on credit cards. Uh, I got a lot of help from family and friends as far as me staying for free at their homes and food and stuff like that. So that's been a huge blessing, and I really am happy and joyful about all the friends and family that I was able to see this trip. So those things about the U.S. I really like, but what's going on in the government and in the whole society as a whole in the U.S. is extremely distressing and depressing compared to what it used to be like when I was a younger man in the U.S. And I'm 62 now, and basically the year I was born, JFK was assassinated, and pretty much that was the coup, where the deep state operatives and these evil secret societies that both JFK and President Eisenhower warned about before they died or were killed by the deep state. And these people in the deep state are a group of evil Illuminati / Masons / you name it. They're in satanic cults that are in these secret societies that the good people in the Christian base of this country were warned about. But because of the temptations of the world, and mostly the biggest temptation is money. Lots of free money in the U.S., and that's why you get people of the world all trying to come here and to get their piece of the money, the opportunities, or whatever you want to call it here. There's a lot of corruption here, way more than anywhere else in the world. You know why? Because majority of the money comes from here, from the U.S. That's the U.S. dollar is the world reserve currency. All the power is derived from this country. It has been ever since World War II was over, and these evil entities have been controlling the government from within ever since the 60s, and it's progressively gotten worse and worse and worse. And now pretty much we're at a major reflection point right here. I thought that everything would collapse 20 years ago, but evil and these systems through manipulation and artificial intelligence and programs that manipulate prices and commodities and the banking system, that's all been orchestrated and manipulated to the tune of, so all these rich people at the top get funneled millions and millions of dollars into their pockets, and this is the way the system runs here, and has been running like that since the 60s and 70s and all the way up till today. So it's at a breaking point, and you can see that if you just look at gold and silver prices. Gold and silver tell the tale of really what's going on underneath and behind the scenes. Something major is going to happen where it's going to affect every single American and the world when this whole system is flipped upside down, and everything that you know about how things work in the financial system today will be no more. It will be all the paper money is going to go away because these evil people that manipulate the system, that's a problem for them. Paper money's a problem for them, and gold is a problem for them. And what you've been seeing with the gold and silver markets, the price is continually skyrocketing. It's more than doubled in 2 years now. And what that's done is they've created an economy where people like you and I, the little guy, have basically less and less money and ability to pay the bills and pay utilities, because everything, because of inflation from the fiat currency, prices have been skyrocketing, from food to utilities to housing to you name it, which causes the little guy, the guy that's not in on the corruption and the evil and the crime at the top, which constant money flows into their pockets, and all their minions that work for these evil people at the top. All of us are getting left behind, and what it causes is for us to have to sell all our gold and silver to the controlling hands of these people at the top. And that's what's been happening over the last 2 years. And once they get the majority of the gold and silver in their hands and their coffers and their vaults, then that's when they'll flip the whole system on its head and take away all paper money, because that they can't control paper money once it's in the hands of the public. So once paper money goes away, they'll have complete and total control with digital money. And that's what it's all coming to, guys. It's all going digital. And then once that happens, majority, and of course gold and silver will continue to skyrocket, but economically, the people will keep relinquishing or selling their gold and silver because they can't afford the way the life is now, so that the funneling of the gold and silver will continue to go in the hands of these evil people at the top, because the people at the bottom will continue to sell their gold and silver until they have nothing. And that's what will happen. We'll basically be in a complete police state under basically a lockdown, a permanent lockdown situation where you won't be able to survive without receiving their digital money that they will distribute as they see fit to everyone. So at first they might give you a big huge bonus when they flip it, like they'll give everybody 100,000 digital dollars, and then it's going to be a big boom, a big huge digital boom for a few years, but then it'll all be in a total totalitarian state after that, and then we'll be complete slaves. So unless there's some way to stop what's going on, a complete uprising of the little people of the earth and to stop these totalitarian governments in their tracks. This plan of theirs will continue. And the truth has been coming out of the woodwork of the lies and the deceit and the downright murders and assassinations that these evil deep state operatives within the governments of the world have been perpetrating upon the people for decades now. The truth of all that stuff is coming out. Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, Nick Fuente. Look at all these, especially these three people's YouTube channels. They're laying out all the truth of the JFK assassination, on and on through 9/11, through the Charlie Kirk assassination. All this stuff, the truth is coming out. Especially Tucker Carlson has a huge, like a 4 or 5 part series on 9/11 investigation that him and his team have been doing here these past few months, and there's so much truth in that, and it just, I knew in my spirit and in my gut, for as soon as it happened, 9/11, that I knew it was an inside job, and the Saudis and the Israelis were involved. There's no doubt in my mind. These secret societies and 3-letter agencies of these countries, these intelligence agencies, basically they're criminal agencies. They're the ones that perpetrate for the super elite and rich. They're the ones that wipe people off the map anytime that people get in the way. So pray seriously for Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, Nick Fuente, these people that are trying to expose the truth of these evil people at the top. And there's a lot of evidence out there, guys. You just have to look at it. And like I say, these governments have been lying through their teeth to you for years, ever since they took control. And it's been as far back as the 60s for the U.S. And it's been farther in the past than that for some of these other countries. So you really have to wake up and look, smell the coffee, and do your research and your due diligence. Don't believe anything that the official narrative is telling you, because in all the history books besides, it's the winners and the victors that control these books and to control these narratives, guys. The whole mainstream media is bought and paid for by the state and these agencies and these evil people. It's all bought and paid for, guys. And the only ones spreading the truth are these independent journalists like Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, Nick Fuente. There's some others too, and I just don't know their names. But do your research and just keep the truth flowing, guys, and stop doing what they say that you should be doing. You'll have to make those decisions up for yourself, but it takes one individual turning into 2, turning into 4, turning into 8, and it spreads like that from a grassroots base of the people just standing up for themselves and what's right and what's truthful, and saying no. Just downright saying, no, I'm not going to do this that you, government, and you, criminal agencies, are telling me that I have to do or I must do. That's where it starts, guys. And then once their power will become weaker and weaker if the people stand up, because there's only a handful compared to millions of people down below these evil people at the top. And all it takes is a massive revolution against these people to eventually change things again. And even, people like Thomas Jefferson and some of the early founding fathers said that it is best every generation or two that they completely wipe out the government and start over, because the corruption happens so fast at the top, guys. And we need to have term limits for all these people in power because they're bought and paid for, or they're under a blackmail situation, like the whole Epstein deal. That's all a blackmail operation by these intelligence agencies, Mossad, CIA, you name it, NSA, you name it. These are pure evil, secretive organizations that aren't your friend and keep perpetrating evil throughout the country that they operate in. And these people need to be stopped. And the only way you can do it in a non-violent way until an actual violent revolution starts is just stop doing what they tell you should be doing or that you must doing, and or under threat of fear that they say you should do this, you should do that. You know what I'm talking about, guys. All these things need to be stopped that they're saying that we have to do under threat. So that's the way things change, guys, because we, as God-fearing, Christ-loving people, and even mutual respect for each other as neighbors in the same country, we need to join together and get this stuff done, because this is absolutely this kind of evil perpetrated from the top down and dividing and conquering the people by this left-right narrative of Democrats, Republicans, this whole evil, back and forth paradigm that they keep pitting us against ourselves. We are doomed under that whole scenario. We need to learn to see through all that crap and love each other as neighbors, like Jesus said that we should do. Love thy neighbor as you love yourself. Period. 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 No matter how, left or right thinking these people are, eventually, if we come together in a common cause against this evil in the upper echelons of the elite, these billionaires, these trillionaires, these millionaires, these people at the top in corporate America and corporate life and in government life, we need to just fight against this. Fight with tooth and nail, everything in your being, because if we don't, what does that mean for our children in the future? It means complete slavery, and they're going to be embedding chips or tattoos, barcodes on us, whatever, to make us absolute slaves in a completely digital system. And with AI, this is what's on the doorstep right now for our future, guys. And the epicenter of this evil resides in the United States, because its power controls the world. That's the way it is, and that's the way it has been for 70, 80, 90, 100 years now, ever since World War II ended. So all I can say is this trip here in the U.S. that I've been on has been wonderful as far as family and friends and basic people and good neighbors and loving each other, and all that stuff is still alive in the U.S. if we would just reject this crap coming from governments and coming from mainstream medias, and we need to, at the people, get together and end this stuff, end all the three-letter agencies, end all this evil at the top, cleanse it and get it removed and start over. That's what the people of the U.S. need to do, because we're all good people. I don't care what color or creed we are, or what lifestyles we live. We all need to come together and love one another, and through Christ we can truly do that. And that's what Christ teaches. Without that, we are lost and doomed, not only as a country but as entire humanity, guys. So, coming to you from the United States of America, I pray for this country that we can turn it around. And the only spot left in the world that doesn't have a lot of the evils that this country does is the Philippines, and that's why I married a Filipina. as my third wife and had children in the Philippines and sold everything in this country because it's too far gone, and it's gotten much worse even in the 10 years that I've sold everything and got out of this country, and I've been in the Philippines. This country's even become much, much, much worse, and we're at a tipping point here in the U.S. And look at gold and silver will tell you that, guys. So all I can say is, and the whole government is shut down. It's been shut. This is the third week that the government of the United States has been shut down. Air traffic controllers and TSA aren't getting paid. I mean, it's crazy right now, guys, and it's going to all come to a massive head here, even within days to weeks from now. I don't think we're going to get through 2025 with a major thing happening where it's going to not only affect every American, but it affect the world. So we'll see what happens. I didn't accomplish even getting my Social Security. I was supposed to get paid last week, my first Social Security check, but with the system being down and so bad, and the people in the Social Security Administration, the workers there complaining that they've been cut back so far and they can't do this or they can't do that. The service is very terrible as far as any government agencies that are left or that are involved in this whole crazy scenario. It'd be lucky if I'm ever going to see a Social Security check, but we'll see. So I'm supposed to get one November 12th, but we'll see. But I'm going back to the Philippines tonight. I fly back to the Philippines, and I'm excited to meet back up with my wife and my children there. So I love you guys all so much, and please just think about what I've said. Watch Tucker Carlson and his 9/11 investigation and all this stuff, and the truth is out there, guys. You just have to take off your blinders and look at the truth. Look at all the truth that's there and all the lies that have been told to us, and the confidence in the government and the mainstream media is going to go to zero if you just look at what the lies have been told to us and the truth that's there being reported by Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, and Nick Fuente right now, guys. So there's my phone. I got to go. I love you all, and God bless. Bye-bye.